the day. Final game of the weekend for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons. Game 2 of the day against the Cyclones Hockey Club from Geneva. Coming to you live from Fox Valley Ice Arena in Geneva, Illinois. Like I said, final game of the day after this morning, or the first game of the day earlier this afternoon. Your Dragons are riding in third place with 11 games played, 8 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties, and 16 points. And the Cyclones are coming in still in 10th place with 10 games played, 0 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie, and 1 point. So, like I said, final game of the day. Gonna get this one wrapped up and brave the elements on the way home tonight. Hopefully that all works out good. It's fine. It's probably fine. Perfect. Anyway, I told you in the first game, the 8U Jamboree team's playing in the Clover Cup this weekend, today and tomorrow. 14U played against the Vipers this morning and ended up coming out not on the winning end, but sure it was a good game. 7-2 was the score on that, and that was the Dragons' loss. They are playing directly after this game, I think on this rink, against the Cyclones at 7 p.m. So if you know how to watch them on Facebook, please do. And again, tomorrow morning, 12U, 9:40. 12U is going to be playing the Huskies, and then again at 3:10 p.m. So check them out on Justin Stump's Pekin Dragon Hockey channel. And then 14U has a game at home tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. So if you can come out in person to Pekin Veterans Memorial Arena, please do so. Support your 14U Dragons. Next weekend, like I said in the first game, Saturday, December 20th at Peoria, we will have our 13th regular season league game. 10U Dragons against the Peoria Junior Mustangs. And then on Sunday, December 21st, we'll have another rematch opportunity against the Northern Express up at their barn at Oakton there. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll have it right here on the channel for you. Pekin Dragons, 10U AA Hockey. I'm 33's daddy, sponsored by a tall can of Revolution Brewing Anti-Hero for this game. All right, let's rip through the roster one more time so you remember who everybody is in alphabetical order this time. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 5, Sterling Burks. He'll be in net today. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 6, Duncan Hill. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenhauer. Number 33, Jet Knapsiger. Number 77, Houston Richardson. Number 12, Noah Viviano. Not rostered today is number 48, Adelita Johnson, but if you look real hard, you can see her right over there on the bench. Not playing today, but she's here. And then number 7, Braxton Courts, also not rostered today. Dragons keep getting their warm-ups underway here, and we'll be underway here just momentarily. Real quick while we're waiting, Dragons will get their final powwow underway with the coaches over there at the bench. Let's recognize our 25-26 Pekin 10U AA Dragon sponsorships for the season. Hat trick sponsor Mr. Kirk Knapsiger, the coolest cousin ever! All the way up from Minnesota. Thank you so much for your contributions throughout the years, and this year, Wagenbach Builders. Established in 1980 out of Tremont. You got a project? Give Wagenbach Builders a call. 309-925-5205 or wagenbachbuilders.com. All right, let's go Dragons. Game 2 of the day, final game of the weekend for your 10U Dragons starts now. Looks like we'll have Nash Moldenauer at center, Richardson on right wing, Ledbetter on left wing, Knapsiger and McCoy on defense, Sterling Burks in net. And this is Pekin Dragons 10U AA hockey. We're off. Moldenauer for the face-off. Carries it into the Cyclone zone, sends a shot on net, loose puck in the crease, and puck gets deflected over to the near corner. Ledbetter comes in after it, back to Knapsiger at the blue line, and they'll send it in deep, all the way to the back wall. Moldenauer tries to track it down, Cyclones get there first, and Richardson and Moldenauer battling for it on the back wall. Puck comes over to the far side. Cyclones carry it up, back into the neutral zone. Knapsiger and McCoy back to defend. Then McCoy stops that shot in the crease, sends it over to Ledbetter on the near side, and he'll dump it out to the neutral zone. Back to Richardson. Ooh, got his feet taken out from him somehow there, and Cyclones turn it back into the Dragon zone. Moldenauer stops it, top of the slot, turns it back to the neutral zone, and across he goes, dumps it in deep all the way to the back wall, and Cyclones race in after it. Over to the near side, they'll bring it up. Back out to the neutral zone again. Knapsiger back to defend. And he'll try to strip that puck. So will Jackson McCoy, and glove save, Burks. 10:41 remaining in the first period, rather. I was going to say regulation, but I didn't. 10:41 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Face off in the Dragon zone on the near side. Face-off circle. Easton Cook at center for the face-off. Ledbetter and Viviano and Hill on the wing. Sorry about that. Blevins and McCoy on defense. Duncan Hill battles it up the near side, feeds it up to Viviano. Looks like he spooned it out to the neutral zone. Cyclones bring it back in, and they'll dump it in deep into the near corner. McCoy will race back for it. He'll get there first, and Cyclones rocket one up the slot, and goal, Cyclones. Dragons down by 1. 10:13 remaining in the first period. We'll have a face-off at center ice. Cookie at center, Duncan Hill and Noah Viviano on the wing, Knapsiger and Blevins on defense. And Mr. Easton Cook for the face-off. Puck comes back into the Dragon zone. Knapsiger races back for it on the far side, dumps it back out to the neutral zone. Found Easton Cook, and he's on his way. Tries to get it through some traffic. Viviano picks up the loose change and sends it back to the far corner. Tries to center one up, no Dragons there. Cyclones pick it up, skate it behind their net, and send it up the near side. Back to Blevins at the blue line, fires one. Loose puck, oh! Ooh, Cookie, rebound, goal! Woo! Easton Cook goal. Knots it up at 1 goal apiece. 9:44 remaining in the first period. And we'll start over. Moldenauer at center. Ledbetter and Richardson on the wings. Knapsiger and McCoy on defense. Moldenauer for the face-off. Chips it into the Cyclone zone off the far side. Cyclones get there first. Moldenauer's in hot pursuit. Races back to the back wall. Picks off the puck there. Send it up to the slot there. And Cyclones collect it, bring it back out. Knapsiger Gets in the way there, and it gets in the way again. McCoy will pick that up. Skates it back up around Ledbetter into the neutral zone, up the near side. Tries to dump it in. Cyclones hold it out. Back to Nafziger on the near side again. And they'll send it in for a second. Back to Nafziger, and he's going to carry it in. Sends a shot on goal. Save Cyclones. Face off in the Cyclone zone. 9:02 remaining in the first. Dragons and Cyclones tied at 1 apiece. Easton Cook at center, Viviano and Hill on the wings. Blevins and McCoy on defense. Cooking for the face-off. Cyclones collected behind their net. And they'll pick it back up in the far corner. Viviano's all over him there. Chips it back to Easton Cook. Back to Viviano. Brings it up into the slot and over to the near side. Tries to feed one up to Hill. Oh, got lost in his skates there, and here come the Cyclones. Back into the neutral zone. McCoy and Blevins back to defend. Blevins drives it over to the far side for a second there, and Cyclones send it in deep. Blevins will race back for it on the back wall and sends it back up the far side. Viviano tries to hunt it down. Cyclones send it back in up the slot, and Blevins tries to spoon feed it up the slot back out, and Easton Cook's going to pick up that ricochet and carries it out, gets out in front of everybody. Save Cyclones. Well, we got a guy chasing Easton Cook down. Hopefully there's a penalty involved with that. 8:03 remaining in the first period. Dragons and Cyclones tied at 1. Moldenauer at center, Richardson and Ledbetter on the wings, Nafziger and Blevins on defense, and Moldenauer for the face-off. Sends it over to the far boards, over to Ledbetter, and he'll send it over to the back wall, and Moldenauer will race it down amidst the Cyclones traffic there. Battles with a couple of Cyclones players. They'll try to send it over to the near side, and Richardson will get in their way. Back to Moldenauer again. He goes down, and Moldenauer still battling for it all the way across the back wall. Off the far side boards. Nafziger back to defend. And Cyclones send it to the back wall. They'll collect it again. Oh, centered one up. Oh, back to Moldenauer. Carries it out of the slot, sends it off the far boards, and Ledbetter will race after it. Whoop. Oh. Still battling for it in the neutral zone. Ledbetter. Centering pass to Moldenauer. Sends a shot on goal. Save Cyclones. Covers it up in the blue paint. 7:05 remaining in the first. And it looks like the Dragons are waking up. Gonna have a face-off in the Cyclone zone. Cookie at center. And Cookie for the face-off, back to Nafziger. Rockets one, tries to rocket one up the slot, bounced it off a Cyclone, tries to send another one in deep, bounced it off another Cyclone, and here they come. Cookie's racing for it down in the Dragon zone, sends it over off the near side, and Viviano's going to scoop it up. Brings it back across the neutral zone with some speed down into the Cyclone zone. Sends a shot, save! Cyclones, he'll pick it back up on the back wall. Tries to feed it up, and Cyclones knock it back to the back wall. They'll bring it up off the near side. Back to Nafziger in the slot. Advances up, and got a guy in front of him there. And he'll send it into some traffic. Cyclones send it back up to the blue line. Nafziger tries to send it up. And back to McCoy at the blue line. Puck squirts out to the neutral zone, up the near side, and back to Nafziger. Whoop, sorry about that. He'll advance back across the neutral zone. And got stripped off in the slot there with all the Cyclones waiting for him. And back to Moldenauer, back to Richardson. Tries to fire one. It bounced off a Cyclone player. Moldenauer, nope, Duncan Hill landed on the back of a Cyclone player. Lost a stick there. And then Dragons still continue to keep it into the Cyclone zone. Send it right in front of the crease over to the near corner. And back to Moldenauer, top of the face-off circle. Sends it through some traffic. And Cyclones bring it out up the far side. Back to Nafziger in the neutral zone. And back into the Cyclone zone. Over underneath the referee's skates. Nope, that's Jackson McCoy. He'll get there first. And puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Cross ice over to the far side. Moldenauer in a race for it. Oh, we had 3 players all hit the boards at once. And here comes Ledbetter. Sends it in to the Cyclone zone. They'll collect it on the far side and skate it behind their net. Up the near side, back out towards the blue line there, and Dragons hold it in. Oh! Back to Moldenauer. He'll chase it down. Tries to. Cyclones get there first in the neutral zone. And Richardson strips that puck. Offside, Cyclones. 4:34 remaining in the first. Dragons and Cyclones still knotted up at 1 apiece. Blevins and McCoy on defense. And Easton Cook at center for the face-off. Over to Viviano on the far side. Duncan Hill races in after it. And Cyclones send it in up the near side, this time down into the Dragon zone. Cyclones try to knock it in deep, but just can't get it there. And Duncan Hill and McCoy battling for it on the near side with 2 Cyclones players. Puck squirts out to the face-off circle there, and Jackson McCoy lifted the stick, sent it over to the near corner, and he's battling a guy in the near corner for it. Cookie in there battling with him, comes in to help, and he's pushing a guy. Whoopsie, and we got a delayed penalty on the Dragons. All right. 3:49 remaining in the first period. Dragons will have a penalty kill, I assume, unless that's not what the whistle was for. I don't see anybody in the box. That's good. I should probably stop talking. Okay, Cookie for the face-off and sends it all the way out to the neutral zone. He's in a foot race for it with 2 Cyclones. Oh, left the puck behind for a second. Tries to pass it over to Viviano, and he didn't see it coming either. And then now the Cyclones are going to head back across the neutral zone. Blevins back to defend. So is Nafziger. Oh, puck got through both of them, and Viviano's going to chase it down on the far boards. Sends it up the far side. Whoa, Blevins stops that one in the slot, sends it back to the blue line. And Cyclones send it in deep. Back to Viviano in the far face-off circle, and he's going to turn it around. Skates back up. Sends a pass over to Duncan Hill there, and Cyclones knock it back out to the neutral zone up the near side. They're going to carry it into the Dragon zone. Back out to the neutral zone it goes. All the Cyclones are offside, but I guess not. And back to the neutral zone we go. And Moldenauer comes out in front with it. Got one guy to beat. Sends a shot. Kick save, Cyclones, and he'll cover it up outside the crease with 2:37 remaining in the first period. Moldenauer at center, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing, McCoy and Nafziger on defense, Moldenauer for the face-off. Puck comes over to the slot, Nafziger will race it down on the far side, advances up to the face-off circle. Oh! Beautiful feed and goal, Dragons! Moldenauer knocks in the rebound, putting the Dragons up by 1. 2:27 remaining in the first period, Dragons up by 1. Moldenauer goal. Ledbetter and Richardson on the wings. Moldenauer at center. Nafziger and McCoy on defense from the face-off. Nafziger sends it off the far boards over to Richardson, and he'll send it in deep all the way to the back wall. Moldenauer and Ledbetter in hot pursuit. Cyclones get there first. Can't control the puck, though, and puck's loose. Goes over to the far side, and Cyclones bring it up the far boards. Try to pass it up, and they do. Back to the neutral zone. Richardson comes in from behind. Sends it back in deep. Icing waved off. Got deflected. Ledbetter races back for it. Ooh, almost stripped the puck there. And back to Nafziger at the blue line. Up to Richardson off the far side. Richardson's battling with a guy there, and Cyclones come out with it. Nope. Moldenauer sent it back to the back wall again. And they'll bring it over to the near side this time. Cyclones exit their zone up the near side across the neutral zone. McCoy got in the way, and Ledbetter sends it back to the neutral zone. Cyclones enter in up the slot, and Nafziger will race back for it behind the goal line. Zigs and zags around all the Cyclones players. Rushes out across center ice and across the neutral zone. Sends a shot from the face-off circle and saves Cyclones. 1:08 remaining in regulation. First period. My bad. Dragons up by 1. Face-off in the Cyclone zone. Feels like a continuation of the last game, basically. And Cookie for the face-off, back to McCoy, rockets one up the slot, and it got deflected wide, and Cookie goes back for it, so is Duncan Hill. Puck gets driven over to the near corner in the Cyclone zone, and Cyclones will advance up the near side. Across the neutral zone, Blevins races back for it, slaps it off the near side, looking for Easton Cook, and he finds it. Sends one just wide of the net, off the back wall, and Easton Cook still in hot pursuit. Cyclones bring it up the far side, back to Blevins. He'll drive it in deep to the back wall. Cyclones collect it, bring it up the near side, and offside Dragons. 23.6 seconds remaining in the first period. Dragons up by 1, face off in the neutral zone. Nafziger and Blevins on defense. Moldenauer for the face-off. Ledbetter drives it in from the left side, and Richardson races in after it. Back to Blevins in the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass looking for Nafziger. He'll chase it down on the far side and sends it all the way down in to the back wall. Cyclones get there first. Ledbetter comes in after it. Puck comes over to the near side, and Moldenauer sent one on net, and that's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons up by 1 after 1 period. All right, Power Play sponsors, 2121 Sports. Let us give you an edge. Dan Engelbright, professional skate sharpening, skate profiling, and skate repair, located in Pekin. Call him at 309-241-0712, or you can find him on Facebook. Ledbetter Insurance, trusted leader in auto, homeowners, and business insurance, 309-673-5544, or ledbetterins.com. Mr. Toett's Record Service, established in 2012 out of Peoria. Get a hold of them at MrToettsRecordService.com or 309-360-3123. We have Mike and Sandy Robertson, Grayson Blevins' grandparents, and Wayne and Aaron Wood, Sterling Burks' grandpa. All right. Period 2 starts now. Moldenauer at center, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Sterling Burks in net. And this is Pekin Dragons 10 UAA hockey. We're off. Moldenauer for the faceoff. And Richardson peels it into the Cyclone zone. Sends one through the crease, and Ledbetter is chasing after it over on the near side. Back to McCoy at the point, and he'll send it in deep all the way around the back wall. Richardson's chasing after it. Cyclones get there first. Back to Moldenauer on the far side. And Cyclones battle it away. Back to McCoy at center ice. And, oh, that was offside for sure. And Nafziger got in the way of that shot. He'll send it across the back wall over to the near corner in the Dragon zone. Back to Nafziger. Picks it up in the near face-off circle. Go! Skates it into the Cyclone zone, sends a shot from the face-off circle, bounced it off a Cyclone and into the back wall. They'll collect it. Back to Richardson, and back to Moldenauer. Almost kept it in there, and here come the Cyclones. Nafziger back to defend. He'll drive that puck over to the far side. Shot on goal, save, Burks. Sterling Burks makes the save. 10:51 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 1 goal. Face off in the Dragon zone. Easton Cook at center. Viviano and Duncan Hill on the wing. Blevins and McCoy on defense. Cookie for the face-off. Duncan Hill sends it off the far side. Viviano's chasing after it, and they'll bring it out to the neutral zone. All the way across center ice. And he'll collect it on the near side. Oh, fell down there. And he'll send another shot off of a Cyclone player, and Easton Cook tries to center it up, gets it to Duncan Hill. Sends a shot. Goal! Goal, Dragons! Duncan Hill, goal! Dragons up by 2. Top shelf, baby! 10:26 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 2. Face off at center ice. It's number 2 for him today. Cookie at center. Hill and Viviano still on the wing. Nafziger and Blevins on defense. And from the face-off, puck comes over to the near side. Cookie and Duncan knock it into the Cyclone zone, and they'll chase it down up the near side and collect it behind their net. Skate it over to the far side. And skate it all the way across the neutral zone, uncontested. And Nafziger got in the way of that one there. Puck went to the back wall. Viviano sends it up the far boards, and Cookie strips it out to the neutral zone, and he's in hot pursuit. Back to Cyclones. Try to send it into the Dragon zone. Blevins, whoa, fanned on the pass there, and Duncan Hill clears it out. Cyclones bring it back in. Nafziger drives it over to the far side, and he'll collect it in the far corner. And he's got a guy all over him there. Can't quite catch the puck. They'll try to center one up, and Blevins will race it down on the far side under the referee's skates there. Sends it around the back wall. Over to the near side. Easton Cook and Duncan Hill come in after him. And Richardson comes in to help. Duncan Hill chases it back down on the back wall behind the Dragons net and over to the far side. Tries to send it up the far boards there. Cyclones got in the way, and Dragons finally, oh, nope, not quite. Almost tried to enter the zone. Nafziger strips the puck in the top of the face-off circle. Dangles around some players and gets it out. Looks like sends it over to the near side board, looking for Easton Cook, and he's going to drive it in deep to the back wall. Cyclones get there first. Send it off the far boards there to one of their players, and back to Ledbetter. Tried to feed one up into the slot. And back to the neutral zone. And Richardson turns it around in the neutral zone. Cyclones slap it away, and McCoy will chase after it up the slot in the Dragon zone. Sends it over to the far side. And Richardson is in hot pursuit. Cyclones knock it back in off the near side boards, and that's offside. Cyclones. Dragons up by 2. 8:03 remaining in the second period. Face off in the neutral zone. And Moldenauer for the face-off. Over to some Cyclones on the near side. Nafziger dumps it back out to the neutral zone, looking for Ledbetter, and here comes Moldenauer. Oh, got stripped there on the near side, and back to Nafziger again. Sends it back into the traffic, and he'll try to strip that puck. McCoy will grab it, skates it over to the far side, and nobody can enter the zone. I don't know what's going on. Richardson battling forward inside the Cyclone zone. Cyclones set it back out, and Richardson will slap it back in. Cyclones pick it up deep in their zone. Back to Nafziger. He'll send it back in. And Cyclones will regain possession. Nafziger in a foot race for it, and that's going to be icing, I think. Oh, we got a delayed penalty, apparently. Delayed penalty on Mr. Houston Richardson. So he'll go off for a minute 30. Looked like a slash, maybe? I don't know. All right. Dragons will be down a man for the next minute 30. 7:06 remaining in the second period. Easton Cook at center. Moldenauer on the wing. McCoy and Blevins on defense. And Cook is going to face it. Back to a Cyclone player over here towards the near side. Moldenauer will send it up the near boards. Back to Blevins. Clears the zone off the near side. And Easton Cook's in a race for it. Oh, got dove on. Got a delayed penalty here on the Cyclones, it would seem. And we'll have a face-off in the Cyclone zone. Be 4-on-4 for 108. And then the Dragons will have a power play for the 22 seconds after that, it looks like. Moldenauer at center. Easton Cook on the wing. Blevins and McCoy on defense. Moldenauer for the face-off. Over to Easton Cook. Tries to fire one up the slot. Cyclones got in the way. And McCoy sent a bouncer from the blue line, and that'll bounce over to a Cyclone player on the far side, and they'll scoop it all the way out. McCoy's in a foot race for it. Icing waved off. McCoy slaps it up the far side boards, looking for Easton Cook, and he'll clear the zone. Moldenauer is in a race for it, and that's going to be an icing call, I'm imagining. Well, I got a good imagination, folks. 6:16 remaining in the second. Dragons up by 2. 40 seconds remaining on the Richardson penalty. 1:02 remaining on the Cyclones penalty. Face off in the Dragon zone. And Moldenauer at center. Back to Blevins. Blevins sends it off the near side, clears the zone, and Easton Cook will scoop it up on the near side. Oh, here come the Cyclones, and they'll collect that, skate it behind their net. And back out to the neutral zone. And Nafziger sends it over to the near corner. Cyclones send it back and then send it cross ice over to the far side. And one of their guys will pick it up again. Sends a shot from the face-off circle. Kick save, Berksey. And puck is scooped out to the neutral zone. Icing should be waved off because no one's racing for it except Moldenauer. And Cyclones touch it first. They'll grab it. And back out to the neutral zone it comes. Nafziger in a foot race for it. And Burks keeps it in play. Sends it off the near side. Not out of the zone there. Nafziger stops that pass attempt and sends it over to the far boards. Duncan Hill collect it. Battling with a couple of Cyclones players, and Blevins sends it up to Easton Cook in the neutral zone. Back to Duncan Hill, and he'll race it in up the far side, sends a shot, and that'll get deflected wide to the back wall by the Cyclones netminder. Oh, too far for Nafziger to handle there, and he'll race back down for it. Deep in the Dragon zone, he'll collect it on the back wall. Sends it off the near side boards and back out. Whoa! Moldenauer comes off the bench and collects it. Oh, sends a shot back to Duncan Hill. Oh, oh, and that shot went off the top of the net. And back to Cyclones on the near side. Richardson back to Moldenauer on the near side, and he'll peel it off the wall. Advances back to Richardson. Oh, just wide off the back wall. Here come the Cyclones up the far side. Back out to the neutral zone. And McCoy picks that off. Back to McCoy again. And a Apparently that was onside, so I'm good with it. And back to McCoy from the point. Back to Moldenauer at the faceoff circle. Ooh, didn't have any gas on that there, and puck goes all the way back down across the neutral zone. Nafziger will get there first. Picks it up behind the goal line and skates it around the back of the Dragons net. Back out across into the neutral zone off the far side there. And offside Cyclones. 3:31 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 2. Moldenauer for the face-off. Sends it across the neutral zone there. Cyclones knock it back off the near side and down into the Dragon zone they come. Skate it behind the back of the Dragons net and try to feed one up to a guy at the face-off circle. Moldenauer collects that, sends it off the far boards back to Ledbetter, and he'll clear the zone. Richardson trying to chase it down in the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass from the Cyclones, and they'll dump it in deep off the near side and to the back wall. Blevins gets there first. Sends it back up the near side again, looking for Moldenauer. And he'll clear the zone up the near side. Skates it all the way across the neutral zone and down into the Cyclone zone. Ooh, let it go there in the slot, and here come the Cyclones back the other way. Back across the neutral zone. Blevins and McCoy back to defend. Back over to Richardson on the near side, deep in the Dragon zone. He'll paddle it up. Back to the neutral zone again. Easton Cook, ooh, almost had it. And Ledbetter. Here comes Richardson, and back to Blevins. Sends it back into the neutral zone again. Here come the Cyclones all the way deep into the Dragon zone. McCoy's racing over for it in the near corner. He'll get there first. Carries it up the near corner and pass to Ledbetter out in the neutral zone. Got out ahead of him there, and the Cyclones knock it back in off the far side. McCoy on the hunt, back to Cookie there. Looks like Richardson might have knocked Viviano over. Not sure. Got a guy down there. All right. Players will take a knee. Coach will come out and take a look here. All right, he's on his feet, folks. Gets a stick tap and a round of applause. They'll go back to the bench and get checked out. Looks like Duncan Hill's coming on. Maybe. I'm not sure. We're probably line changing all the way here. Easton Cook at center. Oopsie. Looks like the Cyclones captain just about fell on his butt. Whoopsie. Easton Cook for the face-off. He'll send it over here to the near side. Duncan Hill will chase it down. Sends it up the near side boards. Back to a Cyclone waiting at the point. And Easton Cook clears that out of the way. Blocks that shot. And back to Nafziger. He'll skate it across the neutral zone. Over to Nafziger again on the far side. And here come the Cyclones. Odd man. Well, we got Blevins back to defend. Cyclones send it off the back wall. Nafziger will scoop it up. Sends it off the near side. And, back to another Cyclone in the slot. Nafziger will scoop it off the far side. And Richardson will bring it out to the neutral zone up the far side. And Duncan Hill comes in after it. Yeah. Easton Cook drives it all the way to the back wall. And Dragons not chasing the puck very strongly there in the offensive zone. Doing okay defensively, though. McCoy strips that shot out away from the net and then tries to scoop it out to the neutral zone. Cyclones hold it in. They'll advance back in. And Dragons back to Nafziger, back to Cook. He'll send it out in front, and he's racing back for it. Oh, sends a shot. Went over the top of the net. Might have got deflected there, and Not sure. Here come the Cyclones back across the neutral zone again. McCoy and Nafziger back to defend. Kick save, Berksey. That's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Nafziger scooped it out to the top of the zone at the buzzer. All right. Start out with our Slapshot sponsors, Mackinac IGA, friendly small town store with groceries and more. Come check them out in Mackinac, Illinois. Stop in and tell them the Pekin 10U Dragons sent you. You can look up what they got on MackinacIGA.com. Powers Law, Ryan Powers, attorney at law, 309-349-3835. You can find him on Facebook. Skin Deep La Beauté, specializing in Botox fillers and hair removal. You can find them on Facebook. They're located in Morton, Illinois, 309-453-9997. SL Audio and Lighting, established in 2018, professional sound and lighting for live music and events. Find them on Facebook or 309-349-6308. Todd's Touch Lawn Care out of Bellevue, servicing the Peoria area, 309-657-0995. And then we have, as always, Sean and Laura Garrick, John King, House of Kyler, Jim and Sue Nafziger, Mark and Sue Wells, and Jason Jones approves. And don't forget about Mr. Dustin Cook at Cook & Sons Auto Body, 309-353-7971 for all your automotive collision and auto body repair needs. Final period in regulation starts now. Moldenauer at center, Viviano and Hill on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense, Sterling Burks in net, and we're off. From the face-off, puck comes over to the near side. Cyclones send it all the way into the back wall, and McCoy will race it down. He'll send it over to the far side boards. Viviano's in hot pursuit. Back to McCoy, and he'll send it up the far boards. Back to a Cyclone player waiting at the point. He'll try to fire one in, and Duncan Hill's going to chase that deflection down over on the near side. And puck squirts out. Duncan Hill collects it in the neutral zone, and he's off to the races. Advances towards the net. Oh, save! Cyclones, kick save, and we're chasing it down on the back wall there. Duncan Hill picks it up again. Skates it around the back of the Cyclones net. And out ahead of Moldenauer a little bit too far. Cyclones bring it out to the neutral zone, and then Nafziger will stop that. No, he won't. He tried to. And back to McCoy. Cyclones hold it in. Off the near side, sends a shot. Save, Burks! Kick save over to the far boards. And here comes Duncan Hill again. Cross center ice all the way down into the Cyclone zone. Sends a shot wide and off the back wall. Darn it. And Viviano strips it out to the slot there. Cyclones knock it back across the neutral zone, and Nafziger will hunt it down. Backhand pass off the near side, though, and Cyclones hold it in. Oh, through the slot. Through the crease, glove save! Berksey! And we got some fisticuffs in front of the Dragons net over here. Let's see what the referees want to dish up for this. Looks like Cookie's going off for a minute 30, maybe. And Cyclones. So we got matching penalties, it would seem. 4-on-4, I think, for the next minute 30. Face off in the Dragon zone. Maybe it's full strength, I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, full strength, both teams. Moldenauer at center. For the face-off. Gets it back to Duncan Hill. He'll skate it behind the back of the Dragons net and over the far side. All the way up the far side and out to the neutral zone. Still chasing it down, and oh no! Blevins and McCoy back to defend. And Cyclones turn it around, try to center one up. Blevins stops that shot. scoops it up to Duncan. Here comes Hill. Across the neutral zone, up the near side. And to the back wall, he'll chase it. Comes up to the near side boards, and Cyclones send it back to Blevins at the point there, and back to the neutral zone, offside Dragons. 9:30 remaining in regulation, 47 seconds remaining on the matching penalties. Both teams still full strength, and we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Moldenauer at center for the face-off. Richardson and Viviano on the wings, and Blevins tried to rocket one in. That bounced off some players there, and Cyclones will send it in to the Dragon zone. Nafziger off the far side boards, tried to clear the zone, couldn't quite get it there. Back to Viviano. Cyclones still hold it in, and here comes Nafziger back out to the neutral zone. Got stripped, and Richardson peels it out, carries it into the Cyclone zone, and puck gets carried over to the far boards. Viviano sends it back across the neutral zone. Cyclones regain possession, carry it back in to the Dragon zone. Up the near side. Try to center one up. Loose puck in front of the crease there, and the Dragons say, no, you don't. They'll send it back to the blue line, and Cyclones hold it in. Moldenauer scoops it back out with a backhander. He's got a guy's elbow in his neck there, and there's a delayed penalty on the Cyclones for that. Moldenauer advances up the slot, sends a shot on goal, and the Cyclones netminder will swat that over to the near corner. Ending the play, 8:25 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 2, and we will have a one-man advantage for the next minute 30. Face off in the Cyclones' end. Easton Cook at center, Duncan Hill and Kean Ledbetter on the wings. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. From the face-off, puck comes over to Duncan Hill and back to McCoy. Fires one from the blue line, and it got deflected up in the air. Nafziger's racing for it. He'll shove it in deep and got taken out. And back to, looked like they tried to center one up to Duncan there. Back to Nafziger in the neutral zone. Back to McCoy. Tries to enter in, and Duncan Hill collects it from the neutral zone and sends it all the way down. And Cyclones will get there first. Race back to the back wall. Ledbetter's all over him, though. And here comes Duncan Hill. Duncan Hill scoops it across the back wall there. We got an arm up in the air, and that's going to do it for that play. Looks like we got another penalty on the Cyclones. 7:39 remaining in regulation. Dragons will have a 5-on-3 for the next 45 seconds. And then after that, it looks like we'll have a 5-on-4 for the remainder of the minute 30 there. Moldenauer at center, Richardson and Ledbetter on the wing. Moldenauer for the face-off. Nafziger and Blevins on defense. Back to Nafziger at the top of the zone. Sends a shot into some traffic. Hard save there off the stick, and the puck's loose. Oh, they blew the whistle right before the puck crossed the line. Dang it. All right. Gonna have another face-off in the Cyclone zone. 32 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3. And from the face-off, puck comes out to Nafziger at the top of the Cyclone zone. Yep. Oh, advanced forward and sent a shot. Came over to Blevins on the near side, and he'll send it back to the back wall. Richardson will try to race it down. Puck goes over to the far side. Back over to Ledbetter. Back to Nafziger, and he'll send a shot right through some traffic. Oh! Got deflected over to the near side. And Richardson sends one and through the crease over to the far side boards. Ledbetter will hunt it down. Back to Nafziger at the blue line. Advances up again. Sends a shot through some traffic. Not sure what that was. And back over to arm up in the air on a delayed penalty for the Dragons. Looks like Grayson Blevins is going to go off. for 1:30. So we'll be even strength for 32 seconds, and then the Cyclones will have a power play for, 58 seconds after that? Yeah. All right. Moldenauer at center. Easton Cook and... I don't know. Not sure. Looks like McCoy and Nafziger on defense. Easton Cook on the wing. Moldenauer for the face-off. Chips it off the far side boards. Cyclones hold it in. Turning around at the blue line. And back to Cyclones on the far side. And back to Cyclones again. Nafziger broke that up. Cyclones. Bring it over to the near side. Moldenauer's all over him there. Whoa! Save, Burke! Save! Moldenauer scoops it over to the near corner. That was a close one. And Dragons send it over to the far side. Cyclones hold it in. Back to the Cyclones. They'll advance up to the face-off circle, and Cookie will get in the way of that. Uh-oh, fired it right to a Cyclone player, and I think we made the save there. I'm not sure. Yeah, we did. Okay. 5:50 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 2. And 41 seconds remaining on the Dragons penalty kill. Cyclones are full strength. Moldenauer for the face-off. Battling with a Cyclone player there. McCoy strips that out of the slot. Over to Duncan Hill on the near side, and he'll send it across the neutral zone all the way down. Icing waved off. Cyclones must have touched that one. They'll collect it behind their net. And back to Moldenauer. Across the neutral, or across the face-off circle, sends a shot. Glove save, Cyclones, dang. 9 seconds remaining in the Blevins penalty. 5:19 remaining in regulation. Face-off in the Cyclone zone. Easton Cook at center, Duncan Hill on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. From the face-off, puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Nafziger races back for it. And Duncan Hill's in a foot race for it. He'll swat it over to the far corner, or near corner rather. Uh-oh! Oh, Nafziger blocked that shot attempt there. Save, Birksey! 4:57 remaining in regulation. Face off in the Dragon zone. And both teams full strength. Cook for the face off. Send it up to a... Oh! Looks like that one got deflected in. Cyclones shot from the blue line. Bounced off of something and went over the pad of Mr. Sterling Burks there, unfortunately. Dragons up by 1. 4:52 remaining in regulation. Easton Cook at center, Viviano and Duncan Hill on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And Duncan Hill battles it into the Cyclone zone. Sends a shot. Saves Cyclones, and he'll chase after it on the back wall. Puck comes up the near side, and Easton Cook fed it up to some Cyclones players, and they'll clear the zone. Back to Nafziger. Top of the Dragon zone, brings it up the far side, dangles around all the Cyclones. And centers one up. Ooh, tries to there. Sent it right into all the traffic, and the Cyclones come out with it. Bring it over to the near side. Scooped it all the way out across the whole ice rink there, and that's going to be an icing call. 4:07 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 1. Face off in the Cyclone zone. Gonna have to summon those Monday night legs, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get these feet working, moving a little quicker. Timeout Dragons, perhaps. Looks like it. All right, final 4 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in regulation. We're gonna have a face-off in the Cyclone zone. Moldenauer at center. Blevins and McCoy on defense. I think we're missing a wing. Yep, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing. Moldenauer for the face-off. Battles with the referee's skates there. Cyclones knocked it back towards their net. Moldenauer turns it around, backhands it into the slot, looking for Ledbetter and Richardson. Here come the Cyclones. Dump it back out to the neutral zone. Blevins in a foot race for it. Cyclones drag it into the Dragon zone there. Berksey makes the save and over to McCoy there on the near side. He'll skate around everybody and up the near side, across the neutral zone and down into the Cyclone zone. Can't control the puck there and he'll let it go to the back wall. Cyclones will pick it up behind their net, send it off the far side, and Blevins collects it, sends it out of play. 3:26 remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 1. Face off in the neutral zone. And Cookie for the face off over to Duncan Hill. He'll bring it, sends it in deep from the neutral zone and all the way to the back wall, near corner there. Cyclones bring it up the near side and back out to the neutral zone. Blevins got in the way of that. Halfsiger back to defend. Viviano's coming in to help, and that shot went through the crease and over to the far corner. Viviano hunting it down. Puck comes back to a Cyclone. Whoa! Through the crease again, just wide of the net and over to the far side. Go get the puck, please. And Halfsiger back to a Cyclone. They'll hold it in. Go get the puck. Blevins clears it out across the neutral zone there, and Duncan Hill collected on the near side, skates it in. Lost it in the skate of a Cyclone there, but he's going to send a shot anyway, and that one went around the back of the net and over to the far side, over to Blevins. Sends it back in deep. Duncan Hill races it down. Nope, Cyclones get there first. And I'll send it back out to the neutral zone. Halfsiger in a foot race for it. Oh, puck went off the side of the net, and Halfsiger sends it off the far side. And Cyclones hold it in. Oh. Back to Blevins on the back wall. He'll send it off the far side again. Looking for Viviano, and Cyclones hold it in again. Back to Halfsiger, back to Blevins, back to Hill, and back out to the neutral zone. Duncan Hill up the near side. Sends a shot. Oh, off the side of the net there. And Cyclones bring it back out to the neutral zone again. Halfsiger and McCoy back to defend. Go! Whoa, fired one off of Halfsiger there. Save Berksey! 1:24 remaining in regulation. Face off in the Dragon zone. Seems like they're running out of gas here, folks. Moldenauer at center. Richardson and Ledbetter on the wing. Halfsiger and McCoy on defense. And Moldenauer for the face-off over the far side. And oh, Dragons can't quite clear the zone just yet. Moldenauer, nope, tried to dump it out. Cyclones send it over to the near side this time, and they'll send it in a little deeper. Richardson gets in the way, sends it up the near side boards, and yeah, McCoy sends it across the neutral zone. Not enough gas for icing, and the Cyclones will collect it. Empty net, Cyclones. Back to Nafziger on the near side. Oh, that was a shot from Richardson, just wide. Over the near side again. Dragons just need to hold it in the zone and keep letting it rip. Puck spills out to the neutral zone. Oh, and they send it in deep down into the Dragon zone. 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Oh, McCoy blew a tire there. Puck comes off the near side from the Cyclones. Here comes Moldenauer. And, uh-oh, that's not good. Goal, Cyclones! 17.4 seconds remaining in regulation. Damn. Face off at center ice. Moldenauer at center. Hill and Viviano on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Moldenauer for the face-off. Tries to chase it into the Cyclone zone, and they'll dump it back out. Puck gets past Nafziger, goes all the way to the back wall. And he'll send it up the far side. Back to Viviano, and he'll scoop it all the way out. That's going to do it for regulation, folks. We're going to have period number 4. All right, 5-minute, 3-on-3 sudden death overtime. So both teams will get a point in the standings. The Cyclones will have at least 2 after this game now that they've made it into the overtime round. And hopefully they don't. Oh, looks like we got to switch sides. Sorry about that. Switch sides to going the other way. Easton Cook at center. Moldenauer and Nafziger on defense. Sterling Burks in net. And overtime starts now. This is Pekin Dragons 10UAA hockey from the faceoff. Puck comes over the near side, and Easton Cook tries to race it down. Moldenauer comes in after it, tries to help him out. Back to Nafziger. Collects it on his stick and advances into the Cyclone zone, sends a shot. Oh! Backhand attempt by Easton Cook there. Just went wide of the net, and here come the Cyclones back out across the neutral zone. Moldenauer drives them to the near side, and Nafziger will race it down on the back wall. Go faster! What are you doing? Cyclones collect that. Uh-oh, got a breakaway here. Save, Berksy! And we got a penalty on the play there. Looks like Easton Cook's gonna go off for a minute 30. And the Dragons will be down a man for that amount of time. So we'll have 4-on-3 for the next minute 30. Moldenauer at center, McCoy and Blevins on defense. And Moldenauer for the face-off. Puck squirts out to Mr. Burks, and he'll cover that up in the blue paint. We'll try that again. 4:01 remaining in overtime. 1:26 remaining on the Cook penalty. And Moldenauer with the face-off. Whoa, Blevins caught that shot in front of the net. It's going to send it over to the far side, and Moldenauer's in a foot race for it. Down in the Cyclone zone. Comes in from behind. Steals the puck. Oh! Cyclones netminder got up in his grill there, and here come the Cyclones back the other way. Blevins back to defend. Jackson McCoy is racing back too. Tries to drive him off, and Blevins will stop that shot. Collects it in the face-off circle, sends it off the far side boards, and McCoy's in a foot race for it. He'll collect it. Carries it in. Uh-oh. Got stripped there, and here come the Cyclones. Back the other way. Blevins back to defend. And Nefziger gets in the way there, sends it over to the far side. He'll turn it around. Back to Blevins. Blevins dumps it up to McCoy. McCoy got one guy to beat. Out in front. Races it up the slot. Sends a shot. Save, Cyclones. And back to the back wall. They'll collect it again. Bring it back out to the neutral zone. Nefziger and Blevins back to defend. McCoy nipping at their heels there. And he'll strip that puck. Back to a Cyclone at the top of the circle. Nefziger strips that puck, and he's off to the races. Right up the slot. Oh, save, Cyclones. Glove save, Cyclones. 2:30 remaining in overtime. Let's try that again. Do it again! Cook for the face-off. Blevins and Nefziger on defense. Oh, I think we're back to full strength here, so there's some confusion on the number of players we have on the ice, apparently. All right, Cook for the face-off, and he'll send a shot. Kick save, Cyclones over to the far side. Go get the puck, please. Easton Cook tries to chase after it. Blevins holds it in the neutral zone, feeds it up to Easton, and they'll dump it in. Cyclones send it back off the far side. Blevins holds it in. Advances up. Sends a shot up the slot. Goal! Goal, Dragons! Blevins goal! And the game winner! Woo! Dragons win by a score of 4-3 in overtime against the 10th place team in the division. Well, that's 12 CSDHL regular season games in the books for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons, and the Cyclones and Dragons line up at center ice to congratulate each other on a game well played. 4 points on the books for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons this weekend, and Dragons are victorious in both games. We'll see you next Saturday for a game against the Peoria Junior Mustangs, and then next Sunday again for a rematch against the Express. Saturday against Peoria in Peoria at 1:30 p.m. and then Sunday up at Oakton against the Northern Express at 10:20 a.m. So make sure you tune in for those games, folks. Thanks again for watching. This is 33's Daddy. I'm signing off. We'll see you next weekend. Let's go, Dragons!